Hello everybody, welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. This is Driver. So after we did our last video of the Porsche, I got done editing the video, got it all ready, and I have not uploaded it yet because I'm still away from home. But I got on here today and pulled out that Chapman that I had also picked up when we bought the Porsche, and something caught my eye when I grabbed it out of the parking garage, so I went back to my parking garage and took a quick little gander at what I had in there, and I had these two beauties. And well, they weren't beautiful when I picked them up, that's for sure. But they are both identical cars, and I decided to do a little test. I did one completely stock, and I did the other one with as much performance upgrades as I could do, so we could look at the difference. So with that being said, let's get into the garage. Alright, we made it back into the garage. So I got both of our cars here. I went ahead and completely restored both of these two cars. They're both identical cars for the most part. They're both different colors, obviously. But these are both the Bolt Hellcat. These are just your standard in-game cars that come with it. I think these are probably the baseline cars as well. And they're both identical. They both had two different paint colors, and of course they had different factory colors, so I kept them at the respective colors just for the resale part. I don't even know if that makes any difference at this point. So the little, I don't know if we call this pink or purple, it's kind of a cross between the two. Whoops. I did this one completely stock. The engine's completely stock. There might be a few of the quality upgrade parts on this car, but there was only a couple, and it saved me a little bit of cash on the build. So, and you'll notice that both cars will have the same interior. So this is this car, bone stock, and then we got this old girl here, and I gave her every performance upgrade available, everything I could find. And like I said, interiors are identical to these. These two are both identical. So the one thing that I wasn't sure of in the last video doing the Porsche was whether or not adding performance upgrades increased or decreased our sell price and the longevity. So with that being said, we'll start with this one. We're already standing here. So this car has got a value of $48,274, and we'll get a restoration bonus of $9,654. That's with performance upgrades. And this one here is only worth $40,221 with an $8,000 44 restoration bonus. So performance does make a big difference, and it actually sells better. Which actually kind of stumps me in a way, but I guess at the same time it doesn't surprise me. And the reason I say that is, in the real car market, the value of a lot of cars, older vehicles, muscle cars so to speak, retain a better price value when it is completely original. And it can be, and it goes all the way down to the wheels, the tire, well, not really the tires, it's kind of hard to find originals obviously, sometimes you can, but just sticking to as original as possible. And it makes some of the really older cars hard to do, that were limited, not very popular, or everybody and their brother had one, they ended up in the wrecking yard, so it makes it hard to get parts. And a small little story on that, I worked for a gentleman that I was friends with at the time, and he had a 1940, I think it was just a 1940. It was a Dodge four-door sedan. I don't even know what kind of car it technically was called. It was probably just called a sedan. He played a lot of problems trying to find parts for that car. You couldn't buy them new, and it was things like body molding. So for example, like on this car, you got this molding here around the windows, things like that. He couldn't find that stuff, and it had molding down along the sides and stuff. He ended up buying a car out of Louisiana, and at the time we lived in Texas, and we drove to Louisiana to buy this rust bucket. and that was what it was. It had a locked up wheel, and it was just a piece. It'd been sitting outside forever, rusted really bad, and he bought it just for those trim pieces. And I don't know what he paid, and I probably don't want to know what he paid. So anyhow, that gives you the perspective on the performance of these two, or the price of these two versus performances. So to see, I was looking at something else right before I started this video, and if you remember, when we go in the store, there's also these body tuning parts. Now for this particular car, there's not a whole lot of options here. It's lights and a hood. So what I did is I bought two hoods, because we're going to put this hood on both vehicles, and we're going to repaint it, unfortunately. And there are, for each light, there is a B and C, two different styles. So what I figured I'd do is throw these parts on the car, and obviously match up, respective lights together and things like that, and see if it changed our price any. So we'll start with the blue one here. We know that this car, and we'll pull this up again, is worth $48,274 right now. We'll not even worry about this restoration bonus, even though that number will probably change too. So let's yank the hood off this car. Get all these lights. I'm sorry about the frog in my throat. It's been kind of a long day, and it's becoming a long night. It's pretty late for me. So we got those out. So let's see, on this one here, we're going to do the B's. So all the ones that end in B. And they're both going to end up with the same hood. That hood's not going to work too well in my opinion. I'm not even going to paint the car, in all honesty. This thing doesn't have the right scoop, the right kind of motor. But just by doing that right there, without painting it, look at that, $52,249. So that was almost that was around a $4,000 increase in price alone. So we'll see what it does to this other car over here. We'll go and do the hood as well, and the lights. All this is just kind of experiment, and I wanted to reiterate on what I said before because I wasn't sure. So let's see, we're going to put the C's in this one. Definitely not going to be keeping the hood. I will keep the lights on them. It does increase the value. Alright, so that's done. So let's see. Yeah, look at that. $4,000 increase on this one as well, basically. Now, out of curiosity, so that's $44,796. Let's put our other hood back on. Oops. Well, that's the wrong color, but it'll work. So the hood only added about $1,000. So that pretty much sums that up. And I'll straighten these two up here in a minute and get the respective parts. Why not? Let's just go ahead and do it. Give me that hood. All right. Sorry, that looks a little bit better. Maybe if I did a motor upgrade on this, something that's got a scoop sticking through the hood. I should have kept my other car around. Come on, what are you doing? There we go. I just did a build before I decided to do the video. I had these two sitting here, and I was contemplating whether or not to do the video. Damn. Whether or not to do the video. But I figured it was a good idea to do. But the other car that I did was called a Bolt Atlanta, which is basically an El Camino, and it was a supercharged version. thing that I didn't like about it, now it had the big old motor sticking out of the hood up nice and tall, looked pretty cool, except they don't provide a hood for the damn thing. There's no hood for that car, period, when it's got the supercharger. So, you know, it is what it is. So, with that said, I think we're going to go ahead and get ready to end this. So I will see you guys here shortly. Alright, well, we are going to go ahead and end this right here. This was just a short, sweet video. Didn't want to bore you guys with all the part selections and whatnot. We'll do more videos on that later on. This was more of a test just to see if there was really any difference, and there is. So I'm actually surprised to see that, and I think I will be integrating more performance parts into my builds. Don't know if I'll go full blown. Maybe I'll still use stuff left over that I have, you know, that sort of thing. It'll just kind of depend upon, I guess, the vehicle. But that gives you guys a insight on what is going on with part selection like that. One other thing I might want to test, and I might do that with one of these two cars. I might do it with that blue one. I might pull that motor and see if I can upgrade it to something bigger, better. Maybe slap that other hood on there, have a scoop sticking through it, see if it sells for even more. I don't know. I may look into that and give y'all some notes on that later on. So, but with all that said, I don't want to hold you guys up any longer. I apologize for the frog in my throat. Like I said, it's been a long day / night. It's almost 2 o'clock in the morning for me. But if you liked the video, hit a thumbs up on it. If you've never seen my videos and would like to see more, feel free to subscribe to me. Check out some of my other stuff that I do. And if you'd like to see me live streaming when I'm doing that, feel free to follow me over on Twitch. You can find the info up at the top of the main page. So y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all next round. Later.